shit. We up in here early in the morning. What's good, my peoples, man? Welcome to another edition of Cono Local TV, being brought to you by CL Management, TV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty LDBC, man. We had a great night of boxing last night, man. A lot of questions after last night, and a lot of questions answered after last night as well, man. I'm gonna be brief with this today, man. As y'all know, man, I do my little post fights, man. I call them quick hits, and they're quick hits for a reason, man. We want to get in and out like a thief in the night, man. That's what we're gonna do, man. First and foremost, and man, I want to start out with what's going on, Anthony Latham, man. What's good with you, man? You know, my homie Nestor Bravo fought last night, man. He came up short against Ndagani. And, you know, it was just one of those fights that could have went either way. I don't think that Nestor Bravo needs to hold his head down. What's going on, Frontline? I don't think he needs to hold his head down or anything like that. It's just one of those fights that, you know, when you have these off nights, man, they can happen. Those fights were good. The Subir fight was the most fun to watch, though, yo. So I'm going to encourage Nestor Bravo, man, to go back to the gym, study the fight, correct any of the mistakes he may see in the film that he did in that fight. The Village Brothers was good with you, man. I'm still, like always, man, I'm a close friend of his, so it's always going to be Team Bravo for me, man. I just don't think he fought the right fight. Think he was not being active enough, wasn't able to cut the ring enough. And those things happen. Every night ain't going to be your night, man. And I just know him to be a better fighter than that, so it's not a knock. Like I said, as always, Team Bravo for me over here. It's just an assessment that I've seen over what I saw last night, man. And those are the things that I got to point out, man, and just be real about it, man, and keep it funky with the people and shit like that, man. So shout out to Nestor Bravo, man. He came up short, but nothing to hold his head down over, man, you know. We're going to move on over, man, to Subriel Matias. He fought Gabriel Valenzuela to become the mandatory challenger for the IBF title again. Let me see. Frontline said, Nestor had success every time he threw punches. He looked a little gun-shy this fight. Yeah. All Nestor Bravo has to do is throw more and be careful with counters. Yeah. It seemed like he was a little slow last night, man. You know. But like I said, for whatever reason, I'll talk to him anyway. I'll talk to him, you know. I'll chop it up with him and get the, you know, some of the stuff I may not put out, but yeah, I will talk to him. I try to remain things, you know, that we talk in person, man, or privately, man, unless it's consensual that I can, you know, spread that information out. But if it ain't, then I usually won't spread that information out, man. So, but I will get a chance to talk to him either way, man. So Gabriel Matias fought Gabriel Valenzuela. Like I said, he's the mandatory IBF challenger again. Damn, I ain't even got to that card yet, bro. I'm over here on the Puerto Rican card, Stephen L. Mac. I'm on the fight card that happened in Puerto Rico, Stephen L. Nephew. Let me get that out the way. Now, Gabriel Valenzuela, you know, he might have not been the biggest name or anything like that, but he was ranked 4 in the IBF, man, and it was something that the IBF put together as a eliminatory fight for them both to become mandatory for the IBF title, which Richardson Hitching holds. So that's the reason that fight got put together like that, man. And as always, man, Subriel in the first round, you know, he always kind of gives away that first round, man. It's just par for the course, man. It's what he does, man. He's like, okay, you know, this that first round's that feel out round, man. Let him throw some shit, man. Let me get a feel for what's going on in here, man. And you know, before he starts heating up and coming after his opponent and shit, man. And that's typically what he does. I don't think Subriel ever cares about winning round one. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever cares about winning round one. It's a throwaway round for him. You know? And although Gabriel Valenzuela showed a lot of heart, man, and he hit, you know, let me say something, man. I mean, I know I'm kind of going all over the place with it, right? But I'm really getting tired of people saying, man, oh man, Subriel Matias defense is ass. Subriel Matias defense sucks, man. Bro. That's not true. Does he get hit? Yeah, it's the way he fights. He's coming in. He's expected to get hit at some point. But I see him blocking shots with his hands. I see him moving left and right. I see him moving his head. It ain't like he's getting hit every single time the opponent throws. Y'all got to pay attention a little bit more about what he's doing in there. It's not as reckless as y'all think. Did he get hit with some hot shit? Yeah. That's the way he fights. That's just the way he fights. If you ain't figured that out by now, I don't know what to tell you. That's what he's going to do. He himself will tell you, yeah, I'm going to get hit with some hot shit here and there. It's going to happen. But I ain't worried about it. Because he's trying to get his hot shit off. And he methodically started breaking down Gabriel Valenzuela, man, and just kept hitting him with the customary short chopping shots. And just kept breaking that. Damn, hold on. I can't stand when people get in the kitchen, man, start slamming them plates all over the place, and I'm goddamn live. Anyway, started methodically breaking them down. Valenzuela was throwing after that, after he was already done. His eye was already fucked up beyond recognition. The only thing I didn't like that Subriel did, right, is he was having these mercy rounds with Gabriel Valenzuela. Like, he didn't want to hurt him. Like, he was waiting on the judges to stop it, the corner to stop it, man. And, man, listen, I understand why, but you can't be like that in the boxing ring. I understand the why. You know, because he already had a death under his hands and shit in the boxing ring. I get it. Man, but this is a brutal sport right here. You can't have none of these mercy rounds like that. You can't be looking over for the corner to stop it. You can't be looking for the ref to stop it. Man, you just got to do what you got to do, man. You a killer. That's what got you here. So I felt like he took his foot off the gas a little bit in the last 3 rounds of the fight before it got stopped. I felt that. Like, he was like, man, come on. I don't want to hurt him no more. I don't want to hit him no more. You know? That's what it looked like to me. And I could be tripping. You know, it could have been that he was tired, but I don't think so. I think it looked like he did not want to hurt the guy no more. It's like, yo, ref, he's finished. He ain't got no more, man. Yo, corner. He ain't got no more. Y'all ain't going to do nothing? Y'all ain't going to stop this? And I hate to be nitpicky, but yes, I have a... didn't like it. I liked everything he did leading up to that point. He should have just kept that same energy and probably would have got him out of there quicker. You got to make it to where... See, this is the thing. I understand why he did it. I understand why he did it. But at the same time, if you did not want this person to suffer no more, you could have just stepped on the gas and forced the referee to stop it. That's just the route I think I would have went, man. But he didn't, and he's in charge of his career, so I gotta respect it. I just don't like it. I don't think it's a good recipe going forward, especially when you go into championship fights. You just got to, you got to just be ruthless. You got to be, you can't worry about the results of the other person, man. And I hate to put it bluntly, but if they die, they die. Listen, man, boxing is a brutal sport. You know what you signed up for. You know that it can happen. You don't want somebody to die, but if they die, they die. You don't want it to happen, but what are you gonna do? He said he was impressed with his footwork too. Angel said, yeah, he definitely held back some rounds. And like I said, it's okay. I'm not a fan of it. I just think if you step on somebody, you get them out of there quicker. You get it out the way. And you save yourself some mileage as well, But look, he looked phenomenal. At the end of the day, he looked phenomenal. He got the KO, which is what matters at the end of the day, right? That's what matters. He got it. And that's all I wanted him to do is step on it so he could have got it done earlier. But neither here nor there, man. He is going to be the mandatory to Richardson Hitchings, right? But unfortunately, I don't see him getting that fight next, man, especially when I'm seeing some rumors, right? And I don't like this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say this, man, because Richardson Hitchings, even though I like him a lot, I think he's a great fighter, great boxer and all that, man. I don't like the talk that they're doing right now. As far as him saying, if George Kambosos, if you win your next fight, I'll give you a title shot. This is Richardson Hitchings on X, saying that if Kambosos wins his next fight, he'll give him a shot. Right? And I'm like, at what point are we going to stop giving chances to George Kambosos Jr., who does not deserve it no more? Let's be real. He has not worked his way back up to a title shot. Why does people like a George Kambosos always linger around and somehow are always in talks to getting another title shot? I say, hell no. I say hell to the no. And if that happens, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not supporting it. I'm not with it. I'm not co-signing that. That's a premeditated duck. Yeah, I agree, Frontline. That's just what it is. And I like Hitchings a lot. But am I wrong for saying why the hell does Kambosos always get in the conversation to get an opportunity? Come on, man. Come on. Bro. I guess he don't have to work as hard as everybody else to get shots, man. He'll get a title shot just for showing up. Just for being around. Hey, man, I've been on the couch for 3 years, man. Can I get a title shot? Sure, Mr. Kambosos. That's what it seems like they do with him. What has he done since he lost his title? Who was notable on his resume that he beat after he lost his title? Who? I'll tell you who. Nobody. So my point is, man, Subriel Matias versus Richardson Hitchings should be next. The only way I would have excused it was if Teofimo would have took the Richardson Hitchings fight. If that fight would have got made, I'd have been like, okay. Okay, because they was already negotiating. They was already talking about it. It was something before the Matias fight happened, right? I could have been like, okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I think a lot of them don't want to risk their health or careers to Matias. After Hitch said he not taking it when Matias had the belt because of a rule just to fight. Afterwards, I knew then. Well, you know, I had him on the show, and what he basically said, man, I don't want to put that jacket on him, right? Now, I know there's a lot of us that are fanatics and shit like that, but I know Hitchings as well. And his exact words weren't that he wouldn't do it. He wasn't sure if he could do it health-wise because of the 10-pound rehydration rule. And that's what his stance was on it. And ever since then, he got a nutritionist and is able to do it healthy and comfortable. And that was what was going on back then. So I'm not gonna put that jacket on him. Being that I understood and I know his coach, Lenny, and those are things that we spoke on behind the scenes and all that. He's like, bro, man, look, it's not that we won't take the fight. If we have to, we'll do it, but we got to be smart about it. We got to make sure that we're healthy and not, because that 10-pound rehydration clause is a little tough, So I just want to put that disclaimer out there and be fair. I'm always fair. And I'm a fan of both of them, but I'm always going to be fair across the board, man. And this was a while back when I had my old channel that I had him on my show, and we spoke about that thoroughly on my show back then. I don't have it. Matter of fact, my co-host back then was Opulent LDTV. I believe that whole interview still on this channel. So I'm not sure. I can't swear to it, but I believe he's probably still got it up. So if you go over there, you'll probably find the one, the Florida Swampcast edition where we had Richardson Hitchings on. And you could you'll hear the whole thing there, man. That's just me being fair and honest, man. Me being fair and honest, man. I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt and stuff like that, man. Unless they hug and hold like Paro did. I think Matias. What's next for him? If he's a mandatory for the IBF, if he cannot fight, it's only unhealthy for a Matias fight. Any other fight is okay. I get what you're saying, Frontline, but when I had him on the show, Frontline, Matias hadn't lost his title yet, so it wasn't like he was ruling it out. He did not rule out the fight. You know what I mean? What's going on, Mr. Shelton? Yeah, but that's where it's at, Mr. Shelton. I mean, what can I do? I don't have the footage no more. I feel as though that's still partially my content, but just to not stir up the pot, I'm just gonna let it be. You know what I'm saying? Just gonna let it sit over there, man. And I'll take the L on that one. I'll take the L on that. Because that's basically what I'm doing. I'm taking the L on all the interviews that I put together for that show. I'm taking the L on them, And that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta take an L and move on. It's part of life, man. You live, you learn, you get back up, you get on your horse, man, and keep riding, man. But yeah, Frontline, man, I mean, the possibility of him fighting Matias was still there. And he didn't rule it out completely and say, no, hell no. No, he didn't say that. So, and that's see, if I would have been a bigger channel, more people would have heard that. And I don't think enough people heard that and took things out of context. Now, on this occasion, I'm going to say right now, he needs to fight him. Now there is no excuse. The only excuse he can have if he tries to unify. That's it. A unification is the only thing that can trump a mandatory. So Subriel might have to wait, man. I hate to say it, but he might have to end up waiting. Unfortunately, but that, my friends, I'm gonna say was self-inflicting. Self-inflicting because had he took care of business with Liam Pato like I believe he should have, he wouldn't be in this situation. But you can't question the way things happen in life, man. Everything happens for a reason. So we'll see how it plays out for us with Matias. I really believe he'll be a champion again. But that division is getting very, very interesting, man. Speaking of that division, did I not tell y'all that Gary Antoine Russell was going to beat the brakes out of Jose Rayo Valenzuela? Did I not say that yesterday on my show? I said, bro, that boy getting beat. And Gary Antoine Russell did not disappoint, man. He won, in my opinion. He pitched a shutout against Jose Valenzuela. I told everybody on the panel yesterday that Rayo was not going to be able to box him like he did Pitbull. I said, this is not Pitbull Cruz. This is somebody his size. This is somebody with length and strength that's going to keep coming forward at you, and you ain't going to be able to box him. And what happened last night? He wasn't able to box him. Come on, man. Only thing that I was surprised by was that Rayo didn't get knocked out. That's the only surprise I had, that he made it to the end of the fight. I hate to say it, but I was like, yo, there's nothing special about Rayo. He's basic. And a lot of people make big deal out of Pitbull. I picked him to be Pitbull because I didn't think Pitbull was a big deal either. There were two B-, C+ fighters fighting each other. That's what I asked. That's the category I got him in. Gary Antoine Russell is an A+ type fighter that had an off night, and that's the only reason he lost, because he had an off night. And probably didn't take the fight as serious. He thought he was going to be able to steamroll over Puello. That's what I think happened, man. You know, like shit. But now that Gary Antoine Russell has regained that title, I can see him calling out Puello for that rematch. And since Puello is a champion still, unification is the perfect way to get that rematch in a unification bout. Puello versus Russell will be the perfect timing for a rematch because it'll be a unification. Took the words right out my mouth, front line. And I will bet the bank, I will bet the house on Gary Antoine Russell in the rematch. I do not believe Puello is a better fighter than Gary Antoine Russell. He just caught Antoine Russell on an off night, on a night that he overlooked Puello, underestimated Puello. That's all I think happened, man. Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't see Puello. No, bro. Nah, man, I gotta go with Gary Antoine on that. Where does Valenzuela go from here? I don't even know either, right? Because like I said, I don't think he's an elite fighter. I've never thought he was an elite fighter. Has he had a good little career? Yeah, you know, he's had his, you know, he has little flashes and shit, you know. He lost to Colbert, then he knocked out Colbert, came in emphatic fashion. And, you know, he's had his ups and downs, but he's had a good career. He's had a decent little career. He claimed the world title, so, you know, it's not like he's not a failure or nothing like that. I just knew that, you know, he's not elite. You know? Elite is what we saw Gary Antoine Russell do to him. That's elite. That's what elite looked like, man. So I like to see Gary Antoine Russell against Puello, man. And that's the reason I say 140 is going to become interesting because you got Gary Antoine Russell. You got Alberto Puello, who I believe will lose to Russell. You got Richardson Hitchings, man. Who's that other motherfucker, man? God damn it, who we got? We got Puello, Russell, Hitchings. God damn it, who the fourth one? I can't remember. Man, who is the fourth champion at 140? God damn it. I can't remember. Let me look it up. World champions by weight class. That's not what I want. Oh, Teofimo Lopez. I forgot about Teofimo, right? He's the WBO champion. I forgot. Yeah. So you got Puello, Antoine Russell, Hitchings, and Teofimo Lopez. Well, that's going to be interesting now. And then you got, of course, Subriel Matias lurking, man, and a couple of other people at 140 pounds lurking, too. That's a loaded division, man. A lot of people ain't paying attention, that there's a lot loaded, more loaded than what a lot of people think, man. But either way, man, shouts out to all of them, man. Let me get to the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach fight. And so I can close this out, man, as quickly as possible, man. I was a bit surprised about the way Lamont Roach fought last night. I was shocked. Okay? I will admit it. I felt that Tank Davis was going to knock Lamont Roach out in the 9th, was my prediction. I did, however, say that Lamont Roach is a good fighter and that this was going to be a very interesting fight until the 9th. However, I did not expect Lamont Roach to be able to take some of those shots and deliver some of those shots and even buckle Tank Davis in one of those rounds, right? Not only did I not expect that, I did not expect Lamont Roach to outpoint him, which I think he did. I had it 7-5. I felt Lamont Roach won this fight 7-5. Tank Davis, to me, didn't do a lot, man. Like, I'm sitting here watching this fight, and he gives away the first few rounds anyway, just on GP, because that's what he does, right? So he's giving those rounds away in the beginning. I'm like, okay, no big deal. This is normally what he does, man. But unlike Tank, he didn't have that sense of urgency in this fight. It didn't seem to me like he was trying to pick it up at any point, man. There was rounds where he had some good rounds and he started throwing combinations and shit, but it wasn't like the normal Tank Davis, pressure. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was I don't know, man. It just didn't look like he was comfortable in there, man. And Lamont Roach came in with a great game plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, I don't want to use the word exposed because I don't think he was exposed. I just think it is what it is. Okay? I just think that some people just, like, Lamont Roach is familiar with Tank and Tank is familiar with Roach. Right? And I know a lot of people say, man, that's the amateurs and this and that, but they sparred a lot as well. So there's a lot of common knowledge about each other that you just can't erase. And sometimes somebody just has your number. And I'm not even saying he got his number where he'll beat him every time. I'm saying he's got his number like it would be A close fight, no matter how many times they fight, is what I'm saying. That's why I don't consider it an exposure. You know, I think that word is used a little bit too loosely, man. And I don't know about anybody else, but that taking a knee shit should have been counted as a knockdown. This has, I hate talking even about a fight like this because it's going to come out like hate. And, when you're not a fan of a fighter like that, it always comes out like hate. But I'm telling you, I'm not coming from a place of hate. I'm just coming from a place of realism. And any fighter that takes a knee, that should have been counted as a knockdown. I don't care if you're the biggest Tank fan in the world. If you can't admit that, you're blind. If you can't admit that, you're not being true to yourself. No. Come on, lay down. Y'all got to excuse me, man. I let my dog in and he all over me. Yeah, get down. I'm live, bro. Bro, I'm live. Okay? All right. Get down. Get down. Get down. People really, and he took a knee due to a body shot. I didn't have the pleasure to watch the replay, nothing like that. I don't know if he got hit or not, so I don't want to speak out of line on that. People really underestimated Roach, but Roach is legit. No, Roach has been legit. I didn't think my whole reasoning for picking Tank at 9 was because I felt that Roach coming up in weight was gonna bother him, but it didn't. It didn't bother him at all. If anything, he does not need to go back down to 130. I think he looks great at 135. I think he just needs to stay at 135 because that weight looks like he held that weight good, and he looked great at 135, man. It's what I'm gonna say, man. I'm sitting there watching the fight, and I'm like, damn, man, Tank is losing this fight. And I've seen the post-fight press conference where Tank said he won, the last 3 rounds. No, you didn't, Playboy. No, you did not. I even felt that Tank lost the 12th round. And let me tell you something. I don't want Tank to lose because, okay, they're for selfish reasons, but I didn't want Tank to lose unless, until he faces somebody like Shakur Stevenson so we can actually get to see that kind of fight. So I'm never wishing for Tank or anybody like that to lose until they face each other. So for me to sit here and say, God damn, I think Tank lost this shit, is saying a lot. Because that's not the outcome I wanted for the fight. I wanted Tank to knock Roach out. But I got to keep it a buck. He lost that fight, people. They could have called it a draw on paper all they want. Dude, if 2 judges had it tied and he took a knee and they would have counted that as a knockdown, what's that tell you? But they weren't going to give Roach the decision, okay? And I get it. I understand. To them, the fight was close enough and like, yo, Tank is a cash cow, quote unquote. He's the star. He's the one that fills out these arenas. Man, we got to at least make it a draw. We can't let him take a L. And that's what I think happened. I don't think it's nothing other than that. It just is what it is. This is boxing. This is not nothing new. This happens all the time, and it's been happening for centuries now. If somebody's a cash cow like that and the fight is close enough, they're not going to give them that L, bro. Especially when they're the champion. So I get it. I get it. And it's politics, and I still think it's wrong. I still think that if you did enough to win, you should be granted the victory. Now, I do believe that they could do a rematch. I hope that they do a rematch, man. We seen how Mayweather did with Castillo and Maidana and how other folks that did it in the past and shit like that. I believe Shakur should have did it with Hector, right? So I'm being fair across the board. I believe he should have did it with Hector, and I believe Tank should do it with Lamont Roach. This is the right thing to do, is to right the wrong, ride that ship. So there's not a question mark on your record, you know? If anything, so there's not a question mark in your mind. You should go back. Any fight like that people consider close, you should get that, man. And be like, hey, man, hold on. Let me right that wrong right there. Let me run that back with him. Let me run that back with Lamont Roach and show him what I could do. Because Tank in the post fight was saying, man, I could have did a lot more. Tank said no to the rematch? Tank said no to the rematch already, King Vonnie? Nah, bro, please say no. Please say that ain't true. Man, I hope, man, come on, bro. Wow. Well, I'm going to wait on that. But, man, if he said no, that's crazy to me, man. That's crazy to me, because who he going to fight next then? And the funny thing is, he wasn't even going to call Shakur out, man, according to what he said in the post-fight. He said, oh, the person was in my locker room. The person was in my locker room. Shakur? He said, Shakur wasn't in my locker room. I'm like, well, shit, don't nobody want to see the fight then. If it wasn't going to be against Shakur, then what the fuck are we talking about? I don't know if y'all caught the post fight, but he said that. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why can't we get Shakur? Huh? I still don't even know who he was talking about, because there's a lot of people in the locker room. Who was it? If it wasn't Shakur, like you said, who? Who else could he have been talking about? Did anybody decipher that and figure that out yet? Because I can't figure it out. King Vonnie said it won't be immediate. So if it ain't the immediate rematch, right? So we know it ain't Roach then, right? And now we know that it ain't Shakur, right? Who the fuck is it going to be? Is it going... What are we doing? Nah, bro. See? Bro, I'm starting... This bothers me, man. It bothers me a lot, man. And this... Man, bro. Man, we got to hold these fighters more accountable, man. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. I would say the same about Shakur. I say the same about... Well, I can't say it about Devin, because Devin always at least, you know, goes for fights like that, right? Whether you like him, hate him, or love him, he at least tries to make the big fights. I'm not seeing that from a lot of these other fighters, man, and that's bothering me. You know? I seen Shakur was there ringside, so if he's there ringside, he's letting you know, hey, I'm right here, man. Can we talk about a fight? Can we at least entertain you and me fighting? And for him to say it wasn't Shakur, that really Kid Austin or a bum to get his confidence back, his confidence shattered. Wow, man. Listen, bro. That's crazy, man. You know what, man? I'm not going to assume anything. I'm going to wait and see what happens, man. But, man, bro. Man, we got to hold all of these fighters. And I'm not just picking on Tank. All of them. We got to start holding them to a higher standard. We got to start expecting them to fight better fights. It's what we got to start expecting from them. You know, we can't have this situation where, like Mayweather and Pacquiao, that they fought way, way, way past when they should have fought, right? We can't keep having those kind of situations. And I'm not putting fault on that one. I'm just saying. Because there's always fault on one side, you know what I'm saying, versus the other. But we can't allow that kind of shit to continue to happen. You see how Canelo and Benavidez never happened? That should have happened. We should have been, us as fans should have got a fight like that. Wherever you want to put the blame, go for it, man. I'm just saying, those are the type of fights we should be getting. Shakur and Tank, we should be getting that. We should be getting that. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. The state of boxing, man. This is why I'm glad the name of my channel is Kinda Local TV. And yes, I talk a lot of boxing. I do. But I'm going to repeat something I said yesterday on my live. This is not a boxing channel. So if I decide not to cover a card or anything like that, that's what I do. If I decide to talk about something else, that's what I do. Have I done it? No. Can I do it? Yes. But I always want to put that disclaimer out there. What does that say on there? Kinda Local TV. Not Kinda Local Boxing. Not Kinda Local Sports like it was before. I'm just getting y'all ready in your mind that that's what it is, man. But I'm not going to hold y'all up like that, man. I just wanted to do a quick hits live. And go over the fights, man, as they came by, man. But like I said, man, this is always brought to you by CL Management, DV Tracksuits. Big shout out to the mighty LDBC. Kinda Local TV. Yo, man, I'm out of here, man.